Welcome to SA Wine Weekly. I've got an excellent show planned for you this week. We've got some guests from Blewitt Springs. We've got Phil and his wife Nina. They're from Blewitt Springs Wine Co. And let me tell you, it is one of the most beautiful wineries that you've ever seen. A little bit of history about Phil. Phil used to be in the manufacturing industry. He grew up as a farmer, then he was in the manufacturing industry, and he got out right at the right time and thought to himself, now what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And Nina and Phil were spitballing at, and what was he good at? And about the only thing he was really good at was drinking wine. So then he thought to himself, well, I know a couple of people in the wine industry. I might have a chat to them over a glass of wine. They offered him to come out and do a vintage and learn about making wine. And best decision you ever made?
Yeah, in a way. I mean,
it has to be, doesn't it?
Hard work, but very satisfying, yeah.
Well, they say you never do a day's work if you love what you're doing.
That's right.
Your body might not say that after you finish.
Well, the next morning when I wake up with aches and pains, it's not so good, but hey, that's fine.
So, beautiful winery in Blewitt Springs. Now, if you don't know where Blewitt Springs is, you're heading Douglas Scrub Road off McLaren Vale, you know where Beresford's is. You turn just before you get to Beresford's, Blewitt Springs Road, head on down there. Absolutely beautiful piece of country. One of the most, it's a hidden gem really, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We didn't really know where it was until we found that place to buy.
Nina, tell me the story about how you actually found the place to buy.
Well, we've been in McLaren Vale for the afternoon. We'd actually taken one of our daughters to have lunch with one of her friends, and we were driving back to Adelaide, which was where we were living at the time. And actually, Phil said, why don't we take this road instead of doing the expressway? And I said, yeah, I've never been on this road. I don't even know what Blewitt Springs is, where it is. And so we were just meandering along, and the signboard was just going up on the at the bottom of the property, and we sort of quickly went, stop, look at that picture, look at that house, stop. So we quickly looked at it and immediately rang the real estate and said, can we come up, can we have a look right now? And they said, no, not just yet, calm down. But as soon as we could get a chance, we went for it, put in an offer, and
you said you were pretty aggressive with that offer, Phil. You wanted it, didn't you?
Yeah, we wanted it. We wanted to take it off the market. So we. And
it's very easy to see why. The punters are seeing some vision of it now. Absolutely amazing place. Blew me away. Just sitting on that veranda, looking at it. What a dream come true.
Yeah, it ticked all our boxes.
And there's some history behind it too, isn't there?
Yes. It was a returned soldiers block. So in the early 20s...
I'll just explain to people who don't actually know. After World War I, the government gave soldiers land, and all the soldiers from that area helped each other. They cleared the land. And that was the story behind it, wasn't it? It was where it originated.
Yep.
And Blewitt Springs, I've spoken to a lot of people about it. Hardly anybody knew that there was military land at Blewitt Springs.
Okay.
Yeah, so we feel very fortunate in that it really is a piece of local history. And we know that, and we respect that, and we've done everything we can to encourage that to continue and to be respected.
Awesome. So we're talking
early 20s.
Early 20s?
Yeah, 1920s. They built a little hut to start with, which they slept in. They did all their food outside. And then in about 1933, 35, they built the house, which we've renovated to form the bed and breakfast.
Right, so it's now a bed and breakfast, the house, and we're going to go straight to the cellar door first.
Yep.
Because we forgot to talk about the stables.
Yes. Well, the stables
were built before the house?
Yes, they were built before the house, and we used all the wood. We recycled all that wood, and we used it for the cellar door. So even the tree trunks that held up the old stable, we put inside the cellar door.
So this beautiful bar we're seeing now is all recycled wood?
All recycled, yeah.
It looks absolutely magnificent, doesn't it?
Thank you, yeah.
And it's a credit to you. It is one of the nicest looking cellar doors I've seen.
Well, myself and my neighbour have done all the work.
Yeah, and it's real welcoming as well. They little potbelly in the corner.
Yeah.
Great little addition. Yep. The day we went there was freezing, so it was pretty handy having it on. Yep. Anyone who wants to come down now.
Yeah, for sure.
The cellar door is allowed to be open?
It's
Soon?
not allowed to be open. It's open for takeaways.
Yeah.
But soon, yeah.
Soon.
Hopefully soon, yeah.
Fingers crossed sooner
Yep,
than later.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we're getting warm.
Yeah, well, who knows really, but we'd love it to be open, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Now, with the cellar door, what's the aim for it? Is it busloads of people? Is it by appointment only?
Appointment only,
Yeah.
I think. We haven't got the foot traffic to have it open all the time, and we don't really want to be manning it all the time. So we're just going to set our sights out to start with of groups of 6, 12, something like that. I'll give them an hour or 2 hours. I'll take them round the winery, show them the property, and we'll, just give them a good experience.
All right, so if you've got any questions out there, we've got Phil and Nina both here. They're here to answer your questions as well. We are fully interactive. The more questions, the better. The better we'll get to know Phil and Nina as well. Keep them on topic this time, please. And so you're saying that it's not just your general come down to kids serving your wine at the cellar door.
No.
There's an actual cellar door experience where
Yes.
you're going to take them out the back, show them where the wine's made.
Yep.
And I think the key point to your winery and to really emphasise is the organic side of it.
Yeah. We don't like chemicals. I'm not spraying them anyway. So we want to keep everything as clean as we can. We put sheep into the vines,
Yep.
which fertilise the weeds, so we don't have to spray herbicides. The water we irrigate with is rainwater, so it's all runoff. There's no chemicals in that, and basically we use minimum sulfates, and we try and keep the wine as clean as we can.
Excellent. That is really going to resonate with people too because it's becoming more and more popular.
Yep.
And obviously I've already tasted your wine previously and it is amazing wine. There's no difference. If anything, it's better because you're not going to get that headache or the tartness of the wine.
Yeah.
Why is the tartness less in your wines?
Well, we put it through secondary fermentation, so malolactic fermentation. It's not technically a fermentation because it doesn't use yeast. It's a bacterial reaction. So that basically, the bacteria creates a reaction where the malic acid, which is a tart acid like apple, is turned into lactic acid, like the acid you'll find in milk, which gives an oily, a bit of an oily texture, which you'll get on the middle of your tongue, and it also gives that lovely velvety texture to a wine.
So it makes it smoother?
It makes it smoother, it just gives it a better mouthfeel. So yes, we insist on doing that.
Don't forget later, we're going to have a deal of the century, I'm going to call it. We're having a deal of the century on the wines, and we may have another little sneaky deal at the end as well.
Oh, we got two
so
deals.
Hang right on because you got your chance to win these fabulous wines later as well. So now we're going to crack a wine.
Yes.
We're going to get into one.
Yep.
And we're going to go the Shiraz first.
Okay.
2017 Shiraz. I'm having a look at the label here. Great label.
Thank you.
Who designed it?
I designed it. Oh, we did.
Yeah. And I've noticed a little bit of gold around.
That was a second run. So we started off without the little gold, out the bling, and the second run we blinged it up a little bit.
And we're all having one, of course.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Well, if I must.
if you must. Ladies first.
Thank
Lucky.
you.
So tell
Cheers,
me about
mate.
it. Tell me
Okay.
about this wine. It is so looking really dark,
Yep.
fresh too.
Yeah, it's fruit driven.
Yeah.
It's had a bit of oak. This 17 had some new oak and some neutral oak. It's been cold fermented, which takes a little bit longer, but I think it expresses that fruit. You've got a lovely nose.
Do many wineries cold ferment?
Some,
it just
some,
on the
some
organic
do,
side?
but the problem with, it's not a problem for me, but the problem with some wineries cold fermenting is it takes longer. So if they've got a lot of wine to process, or if they're commercial and they've got customers waiting, they just can't afford to ferment for 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. They want it through, within 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
It's a style. Everybody's got their own style. This is the style I've adopted, and I like it. It's good for my fruit. So I cold ferment everything actually.
Right, we got some comments. Matthew said he loves the 2017. Why wouldn't he? It's a great wine.
It was a great year. It was good vintage.
It's a bumper crop.
Yeah, well, it's if people who don't know, it was a huge crop in McLaren Vale, wasn't it?
Yes.
Across the state, or just mainly McLaren Vale?
I think across the state, but McLaren Vale was. I don't know anybody that didn't have a good vintage in 17 in McLaren Vale.
Oh, Peter
Peter
Schmidt.
wants to know where you can get it in Queensland.
Online.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't do bottle shops. We're quite boutique, so online.
So, Pete, if you're looking for the wine, you can go to the website, order yourself a bottle on there, or if you keep coming up with questions, you might even win yourself a bottle. And at the end of the show, he might be able to get himself a really good deal on what we've been talking about tonight. So this Shiraz. So who's organised the food tonight?
Nina's done the food.
I've done the food.
And
So
what would we be eating with this beautiful wine?
what we're eating is a lovely braised beef casserole, slow cooked. I did it.
Oh, you cooked it yourself?
I did.
Oh.
Something I prepared earlier.
Excellent.
And
So-
there is a story behind this beef.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to eat it while you tell me the story.
Yeah.
The beef, it's actually one of our steers. So we had 7 Aberdeen Angus steers. 6 of them went to market, and we kept one and had it butchered. And this is the last of the beef. So we actually raised this beef.
How long do
We will make the
we
note
didn't
that
name it.
I did grow quite attached to them, so it was a bit challenging for me. However, he was butchered very humanely.
Right. Organically? Well, we can't
Well,
really
he was
organically. do we?
living organically. Let's put it that way.
The
So,
bullet was
we got
organic.
another. Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Nathan creates a business that in turn gets him drinking wine, winning. Wow.
That's right. That's what you got to do.
That's exactly right, isn't it?
So I chose to make this because it goes perfectly with this style of Shiraz. We've arrived in
It's beautiful.
in the season of comfort food, and this is exactly what this is. It's a lovely slow cooked braised beef, and it just rounds out the flavours in the Shiraz. So it's a lovely style to sit in front of a fire. If only I had a bed and breakfast that had an open fire.
we just had a question from Luke. He was asking whether you would cook it for him. He'd have to hire the bed and breakfast,
Well,
wouldn't he?
at a cost, I possibly could.
For a couple of days. There you go, Luke. Hire the bed and breakfast, and she'll cook you some slow cooked beef for your Shiraz. Now, how long did we cook it for?
Well, this has been in the slow cooker for about 8 hours.
Oh, it's so good.
But I mean, the beauty of the slow cooker is that it does it for you. You just basically get it in there and then walk away.
Yeah.
That pairs really well.
Yeah, it does. And when you are pairing the wine with food, it's personal choice, isn't it? A lot of the time. But this is matched perfectly.
This is pretty traditional.
It is, but the acid in this, this wine's got a good acid line. It's cutting through that fat.
We've got to throw it out there that keep on commenting, guys. You've got about a minute and a half left on the comments, and then we'll draw the winner for the Shiraz.
Oh, the countdown's on.
So yeah, the count is on there, so people can know they can win. At the moment, Kelly's not going to win because she's been harassing me about getting free wine. The only reason I'm doing the show. So Shiraz, McLaren Vale, really well known for its Shiraz. What's your real take on Shiraz? Tell me something about your 2017 that makes it different.
The medium we grow in is sand, so we're sand on clay. Every region in McLaren Vale has got a different soil, a different medium.
Yeah.
I find with our grapes they're very intense. We don't crop big quantities, so we'll crop maybe 1.5 tons, 2 tons an acre. We don't pump a lot of water in, so the fruit is quite intense. So as you can see, I mean, the colour of that, we don't have to work this wine that much to get this colour out. And just fruit, lots of fruit.
Yeah.
Boysenberry fruit.
Yeah, it's got a lot of blackberries,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I'm actually getting a little hint of caramel out of this
Caramel?
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine didn't last long enough to taste like caramel. One tasted
You
like
didn't
wine.
taste the caramel.
No. Excellent. Well, that's a real winner. Speaking of winners, we're gonna have a winner for the Blewitt Springs Shiraz 2017 Shiraz, and the winner is
Oh, thanks, Michelle.
Michelle. That casserole looks to die for. The food always gets a comment. People love the look of the food.
Next week I'll just be on with the food.
Yeah, well, we might actually have SA Food Weekly before you know it. Great wine, great pairing, good start, guys. Real good start.
Thank you.
So we're going to have a little bit more of a chat about the bed and breakfast because it really grabs me. Having a look through there, and just an amazing place. Obviously old, very old.
Yep.
The view from that little gazebo,
Yep.
spectacular.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the cellar.
Yep.
Funnily enough, you happen to have Blewitt Springs Wine Co wine in the cellar.
Funny that.
Yeah. Grab a bottle.
Yep. So
Leave
anybody
your credit
that
card
stays,
details.
Pretty much.
anybody that stays, grab what they want, pay for it later. That's fine.
Beautiful new kitchen.
Yes.
And
And we're going to have a deal on this too at the end.
a deal on the bed and breakfast as well as the
stay,
wine.
stay to
are,
the end
we are.
because there will be a deal on that.
Oh, that sounds. Can the host win?
Well, we'll talk about that
We'll
off camera.
we'll have a chat about that later.
Yeah.
Fireplace almost in every room.
There is. There's only one working fire, and that heats the whole house. But there is reverse cycle central heating as well.
Right.
So when we bought this property, we lived in that house. We lived in the cottage for 2.5 years until while we were waiting for our house to be built. So we got to learn the way the house ticks. We know the bones of the house. So when we were designing it for the bed and breakfast and setting it up, I really wanted to maximise all of the best features of the property and of the house itself. And so I've tried to ensure that it's a very comfortable place to stay. It's like being at home, but with all of the comfort, with the luxuries of not being at home. So you don't need to worry about anything.
And I guess if you are wine tasting in the region, you can stay there.
Yep.
You can start or finish, or you can just hang out there
Yep.
Yeah.
and drink Blewitt Springs Wine Co wine all day.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, for
It's got
sure.
the
Yeah.
best of both worlds. You can stay in. It's fully self-contained. You can just live there for how many days you're choosing to stay there, or you can go out and enjoy the region. And as well as that, there's the Onkaparinga River National Park, which is on the doorstep of the house itself. So you don't have to just drink wine. You can go out and
So even if you
do
don't,
healthy pursuits and then come back and drink the wine.
even if you don't like wine, you like trekking like I do.
Yep.
You can come.
Yep.
The trekkers can come stay there.
Yep,
If you
for
go
sure.
for a couple of hikes.
And we've certainly
Yep.
had guests that haven't been interested in drinking wine, but obviously have done a lot of hikes and walking on
And
the
if you
trails.
like trekking and drinking wine,
It's a win-win.
it is match made, isn't it? So,
No, it doesn't come with babysitting. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't.
that may be my wife asking. I didn't actually say I was going to take her, did I? I was going to go for a little bit of R&R on my own, but won't be doing that now. Won't be any secret. So, time to probably taste number 2.
A bit of drink
The
up.
Orge.
You better drink up. Now, I thought about this long and hard for the people at home. We got the Blewitt Springs Wine Co. 2017, the Grape Orgy. Now, I did make up some great stories. I was going to tell stories I had about 6
Hey,
different
go for
ones. But I thought, you may as well tell the truth.
Okay.
Well, a close rendition of the truth.
Yeah, what I can remember of it.
And tell me why it's called the Grape Orgy.
Okay.
It's not just a marketing ploy, is it?
No.
If it was a good one.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep it on.
Oh, I would see.
Well, winter of 16, summer of 17. 17, as we said before, was a bumper crop. It was our first vintage in 17, so all the fermenters were new. We didn't know the capacities 100%. Anyway, we put as much fruit as we could in all the fermenters. So what we'd got on the floor was Grenache, Mourvedre, Temperanillo, Shiraz. Once the ferment starts going, the cap rises. It produces carbon dioxide and all the solids rise. it looked as though everything was going to overflow. So I put another bin on the floor and I scraped off from the top of everything. So what we did, we scraped off from Shiraz, Mataro, Temperanillo.
So you made too much. You scraped it into...
It was overflow into one bin.
So I'm drinking overflow.
Well, it's called a field blend in France. So if you want to say you're drinking a field blend.
Right.
A co-ferment.
Sounds a bit better than
co-ferment, yeah.
Or something you scraped off the top.
So I scribbled on the bin the Grape Orgy because it was just, we put everything in there. And it was merrily fermenting away. Somebody came into the winery, and I can't remember who, but said, "Oh, the Grape Orgy, that's a great name for a wine. Is that what you putting on your label?" And I said, no, it's just a joke. Anyway, when it had finished fermenting, we tasted it and we went, "Oh wow, this is pretty fruity. This is nice. Everything's balanced. It's gone together." And we decided to actually bottle it, put it into neutral oak, bottle it early, and it's been really popular.
It actually looks different. It's kind of an in-between colour, isn't it? Obviously, it's a blend, but it's not your real dark Shiraz.
No, because there isn't.
It's not your beautiful light Pinot or Grenache that we may have snuck when we were up there.
Well, I'd like to say I could tell you all the percentages that went in, but I can't because I don't know.
So you can never emulate it?
No,
it's a one-off.
But actually,
it is really good.
Yeah, actually, it started off as being a real just fruit-forward wine. We were saying chill it down, have it as a barbecue wine. It's been in the bottle for a couple of years now, and it's actually got some complexity. Everything's come together, and basically it's a Rhone Valley blend with a bit of a Spanish twist, the Tempranillo on top.
Yeah.
So those varieties do go together anyway. But it's worked out
Does
really
anybody
well.
else do the same blend?
They do a GSM. GSM is very popular.
Yeah, okay.
But I've never seen anything with Tempranillo in as well.
Right.
So that's just a little bit, it's a bit unusual in that way.
There's a question for you.
Oh, Peter. Is there a Pinot?
No, there isn't a Pinot, and unfortunately McLaren Vale isn't a good place to grow.
It's funny
Pinot.
you say that, Peter, because Nina and I both love a Pinot, and there's a beautiful tree on their property, Nina's tree. So we've decided that when he's got everything else down pat, Phil's going to make a Nina tree Pinot. He's going to get some grapes. Where we get
Adelaide Hills.
Adelaide Hills. He's going to make Nina her Pinot and me.
Oh.
Yes.
And my brother, he loves it too.
Deal.
He does it. We'll hold him to it.
Well, we're not signing a contract.
Oh, we got witnesses there. Peter wouldn't mind some set up to Queensland if you're going to do it as well.
Yeah.
He'd be able to chill it up there in Queensland.
Not a problem.
On his back veranda.
I think Pinot's best chilled, actually.
So, Kelly, does the bed and breakfast only sleep two?
No, it can sleep up to 6. So what we have is 2 main queen-size bedrooms, and then the third bedroom has 2 singles in it. So I've designed it so that you can have a group of friends, a couple, or whatever is your combination, so that it's a good getaway for a number of different types of getaways, basically.
Well, for something you just threw together and put in a tank, your marketing name exceptional, and the wine is only going to get a bit better too, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the bottle.
Yep.
This should be flying off the shelf.
Oh, it does. It's anybody that tastes it buys it.
Yeah, and they look at it, they buy it once they taste it.
It's a good price point. It's easy to drink.
We often leave it in the bed breakfast as the complimentary bottle of wine, and it's amazing how often after that people will buy our wine simply because they've tasted that. I think they see it's a bit of fun. It's a nice tasting wine.
Try some of this with it. It just tastes
it happens to be one of my favourites, chorizo.
Yeah, we thought we'd do a
barbecue.
barbecue.
We have these as a starter, and we have this wine as a starter.
What's this green healthy stuff on there?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We'll throw that away.
Mm. That pairs really well.
A chorizo to die for.
Mm.
Something you just whipped up before you came to, Nina?
Yes.
Actually, Phil can get credit for this one.
Phil can.
Yeah.
So you got to build the winery. You got to do everything.
I do everything.
And you got to
right.
cook dinner as well.
I do everything.
Cameron, what times are the cellar doors open for pickup?
It's not open per se. Just a phone call, and I can meet you down there.
Cameron, give him a call. Jump on
Yep.
or jump on the website.
Yeah, I'm there most days. Usually 7 days a week.
Excellent. Well, that's really surprised me. So I have to say it too. So if you hire the bed and breakfast, you get a free orgy.
No,
Well, you get a free
that's-
bottle of the Grape
You
Orgy.
get the wine. What
Right.
you do afterwards is really up to the guests.
We're not guaranteeing an orgy. It could be a Shiraz. It could be anything.
No, it was a joke. It was a joke. No, fine. Probably stick to wine rather than comedy. All right. So we've got the timer running down again. So,
Who wants to win the orgy?
yeah, if you've been going through a bit of a dry spell and you need to win an orgy, here's your chance.
ISO getting you down.
Well, now we are coming up with some marketing ideas. So when 2017, this is drinking perfectly now. So people come down, give you a call. Cameron,
Yep.
give him a call.
Yep.
Email, come
Yep.
down the cellar door, grab
Not a
some.
problem. Yep, not a problem.
Or wait to the end of the show for the deal that we're going to have for them to get the 3 wines.
Yep.
I won't give away the secrets of what else is happening afterward as well. But so fire your comments away. Remember, we are interactive. The more you comment, the more chance you got of winning some great wine. And will this be your bestseller?
No, I'm thinking the Shiraz is probably the best seller. The Grenache is a close second. You tried the Grenache. That's
Oh, I'm big fan of the Grenache.
I'm pleased with the Grenache. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the Grenache, you're planting some new vines, aren't you?
We are, yes. So the Grenache that I've made, I just bought small parcels, local, of course, from McLaren Vale. We are actually planting in spring some Blewitt Springs bush vine Grenache, which will be organic. So we will be making our own Grenache off that property. And those cuttings came from Smart's Vineyard, which is a beautiful vineyard just towards Clarendon.
Okay.
And quite well-known fruit. It's exceptional fruit. So, yeah, we're hoping for good things from that.
So we've got a winner. Who's won the orgy? Cameron Best.
Oh. She's going
Right.
organising his mum to get the orgy.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, Cameron.
Is that appropriate?
I don't know. Well, it's Mother's Day not long ago, so,
Oh,
well, you never know. Cameron lives overseas, so he's going to have his mum to get it. Oh,
We do make a rosé.
yes.
do we
Make
make a
lovely
rosé?
We make a Grenache rosé.
I'm not sure if he's asking for his wife or himself, but
Oh, I don't mind it.
you don't mind it?
It's gender neutral.
Yeah, I'm not a big rosé fan, but that one I'll drink.
No, it's a little bit of an in-joke
Yeah.
about the rosé. Greg was drinking rosé for a long time.
How do organic wines taste different?
Great question.
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah, it is a good question, and I'd love to answer it. They don't really taste that much different. It's basically you've just got the confidence that there's no nasties in there.
It's probably the effects, isn't it, from when you drink it?
Yeah, look, I'd love to say, organic fruit, organic wine tastes a lot different. You probably can't tell the difference, but you know that smaller carbon footprint. You know that no pesticides have been used. Just a lot.
Wait, so is it a misconception that you're not going to get as bad a hangover with organic wine as?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
It is. A lot of people.
Because I've always thought that.
Yeah, a lot of people blame sulphur, but it's not really sulphur that gives you the headache.
All right, so Cameron's
just explaining
he's
to
stuck
us
in the
what's
amber.
happening.
Okay.
Oh, he can't get home, can he?
No, he can't.
So he's stuck in the
Luckily, his
amber.
mum's very close in
Stuck in the
Malacca,
amber,
so
surfing every day.
she can come
Having a
and visit
horrible
us.
life. Yeah. So, excellent. So, I don't know. These wines are going down quite. You're doing a pretty good job, Phil, I reckon, of making the wine because it's very, very easy to drink.
Yeah, well, we drink quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're making it for, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, if all else fails, we'll just drink it all ourselves. That's right.
So, we're going to move on because we've got to have a chat about where people can buy and where people can find you because it's very important. A small winery, marketing is key. You've got to get your name out there. You've got to get people to know where to come. So we kind of described it at the start, but we are on Blewitt Springs Road. We showed a picture of the cellar. You can't really miss it.
Yep.
Cellar door's right on the road.
Yep.
Ring up for an appointment first.
Yep.
Hit you up on Facebook.
Yep.
Blewitt Springs Wine Co. Same on Instagram.
Yep.
I noticed your Instagram was pretty trendy. Not doing that yourself.
Yes,
You are,
I am.
of course you are. You do everything yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
But your Instagram and Facebook, people want to follow you. They can message you on there, organise.
Yep. And if they go onto our website, there is, as Matt was, I think Matt's comment early on was about a map. There is a map on our Facebook, on our website, so that you can find us.
Excellent. So we're going to go for
We're pulling out the big guns.
pulling out the big guns. So is there a story behind this?
The story behind this is, again, it's 2017, big year.
It's a screw cap. I almost broke the top of the bottle.
Yeah.
Trying to pull the cap cork out.
And we picked 3 times actually in 2017. So we picked twice. We processed as much as we could, and I had to leave about 8 ton of grapes hanging. Those grapes went to about 16, 17 Beaumay, which is quite high in sugar.
Explain what Beaumay is.
Beaumay is the sugar content. So, the more sugar in the grapes, the more alcohol it produces through fermentation. So this was ideal to make port from. Nina's cousin had been pestering me to make port. He's a big vintage port guy.
Where's Nina's cousin?
Sydney.
Shout out. Is he watching?
I don't know if he's watching, but hello, Michael. So it was an ideal time to make port. It was our first port. This is our anniversary port. And the fruit was just so intense, so ripe. It's just like a liquid Christmas cake.
Should there be some medals on this bottle?
We did actually put it into McLaren Vale Wine Show just for some feedback.
Oh, hang on a minute. We've got a comment. Silver medal?
Yes, that's right.
Silver medal.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, no, silver is
thanks,
a medal.
Luke.
Yep.
Thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, good work.
Yeah.
Someone's been doing that.
All right.
homework.
Well, I'll say no more then.
Yeah, well, thanks, Luke. Have you got any other questions, Luke might answer them for you?
Very important for us to get a mention in the McLaren Vale Wine Show, being judged by our peers. It's important for us to be accepted and respected in the community of McLaren Vale because we value being there.
So that wine show for you is more about your ability with your peers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not about having 20 medals on the bottle. It's
not
about,
at all. Not at all.
I'm doing something right for all
Yes.
this hard work I've been doing.
Yep.
Except
Yep.
for the Grape Orgy because that was included. But,
Well, I didn't put that in.
maybe we should. So what are we smelling and tasting here?
Christmas cake.
Yeah. So you've just got loads of dark fruits. It's smooth. It's high alcohol but balanced. You're not getting a big hit of alcohol.
No, not at all.
So I'm thinking out of memory 20%. So it's 20% alcohol. So with an unbalanced port, you'd just taste alcohol. It'd just be really warm.
Paul wants to know the price.
The price of the port, $40. $40 a bottle. The thing about this port is it's very good now. In 5 years, 10 years' time, it's only going to get better. So if you've got the patience to put it down, it's going to be a smart port
Or buy two.
Or you buy more than one.
Yeah, but
Because
that's right.
You
Buy
probably
two.
need
Yep.
to drink one now.
Yep.
You need, because otherwise you've got nothing to reference it against
But that's right.
in 10 years' time when you pull it out.
Stella. Hello, Stella.
Which one?
Which wine do I like best? I would say Grenache. I would say Grenache is my favourite.
What year?
The 17.
The
It's a bit more
17.
full-bodied, yeah.
Nina?
I'd have to agree.
The
I love
17?
2017 Grenache.
Well,
However, I will counter that by saying that the 2017 Tempranillo is becoming a firm favourite.
I would have put money on that the 2018 Grenache might have been becoming your favourite.
I'd have to say no to
No?
that. No, I prefer the 17.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I prefer
And
that.
I-
I prefer the 18.
And I have practiced with them a lot. I've
Right,
tried
so
them.
I'm just haven't had enough. Phil, you heard that, didn't you? I haven't had enough Grenache as yet. I've drank Jerry's bottle as well, but we won't worry about that. Luke, why does port age so well?
Excuse me. The alcohol. So port. I don't know if you're aware of how port's made, but we stop the ferment with some residual sugar in it. We add spirit. That stops the ferment. That spirit, we put very little sulfites in the port because it doesn't need it. The spirit protects it. So the spirit basically protects the port from any spoilage, as long as that port is good before you add the spirit, and then a little bit of oxygen in the bottle, and it gradually just ages away very, very slowly, and everything comes together, and at the end of the day, you get a beautiful port.
So what have we brought in? Obviously, delicious cheese platter, but what are we pairing with it? What sort of cheese?
So blue cheese.
You're scaring me with the blue cheese.
Um,
I'm going to have to do it though, aren't I? You're
gonna do it.
nice
I
enough
think-
to
I
bring it
think
on.
you should.
the
because
salty
it-
blue cheese
it really complements
really
it.
goes with the sweet
So I'm
port.
scared, but I'm going to go up.
Yeah. And the
Just
other
here?
cheese is a firm cheese. It's an Italian cheese. It's Bella Vita. So again, with a bit of an espresso coating around it. So again, it's a strong cheese. It just offsets the sweetness of the port.
I missed that question.
Put Paul's question back up. Oh, I've got to drink the wine quickly.
Thanks, Paul.
He loves the bottle.
Mm.
Danielle, when will the cellar door be open?
Well, I think
We'll just get our crystal ball out.
Yeah.
It's got SA government written on it.
yeah.
Maybe June time, hopefully.
Well, we don't know, do we?
We don't
Ask our premier.
ask the Premier. Yeah, well,
He knows.
if all goes well, June long weekend, this is my take on it.
It's looking good.
If all goes well, June long weekend, I think that restrictions may be relaxed even further.
Yeah. Well,
Hopefully.
today was a win.
Today was a win. Surprised me, the blue cheese. I ate the blue cheese and
Yep.
couldn't get the port in there quick enough to
Yeah.
follow it, but
Yeah.
it really changed the taste of it.
It does.
There you go.
And
It does.
yeah,
They're quite intense
it
flavours.
might
both,
have
and
given
they
me a
just
new
sharpen it.
appreciation for
Yep.
blue cheese.
Yep.
So, would you put it in a? So, what's your take on port? Put it in a barrel. Get your own barrel. Get a couple
Yeah,
of bottles.
you can do
pour
that.
it in there.
Well, that's how we started out.
Yeah.
A long time
Yeah.
ago.
This is vintage port. It's not the same as tawny. Vintage port basically only matures for a year, maybe 18 months in a barrel, and then you bottle. Tawny port stays in the barrel for up to 10 years, and it
Right.
oxidizes. It gets that lighter color. It gets a tawny color. It's a different taste. This has got a bit more acid to it. Very bright fruits. The only thing about a vintage port is if you keep it in the bottle for 5 or 10 years, because it hasn't been filtered, you will get some sediment. So you need to decant an older vintage port.
Rightio. Don't forget to fire your questions away. This port's absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
I'm not saying that just because you're on the show either. Proof's in the pudding here. Blue cheese, I hate blue cheese usually. With the port, bearable. So not even better than bearable. Fire your questions away. Is your chance to win the bottle of port. And don't forget, at the end of the show, we're going to have an amazing deal for these 3 wines.
Yep, we've got 2 deals.
2 deals?
2 deals.
You're trying to outdo anybody else. We're just throwing an extra. We're bringing bread and breakfast on.
Yeah, we've got steak knives. We've got all sorts.
Excellent. Cheese platters.
Yep.
So, with the port, I heard them mention Tawny Port.
Yep.
And I've been there. I've had a look at the winery. I've noticed
there is a barrel of Tawny Port there.
Tawny Port in there.
That's just put away.
Put away. When was that a 17 as well?
That's a 17. It's the same as this.
So 2027.
Yeah. Well, we'll taste it. We'll keep tasting it as we must.
Okay.
And we'll bring it out when it's ready.
Right, so we're just looking for some comments on the port. We've had a few about how good the bottle looks.
Yeah,
I've got to go back to the label. The actual label designs are great.
It's just simple.
Sometimes simple's the best, though.
I can read it without my glasses on, which is a bonus.
I probably couldn't, but
so yeah.
No, it is a great label. Quite strong. You wouldn't be drinking too many of these, and
no.
She's a nightcap.
Yes. It's well, 2 or 3 glasses. You'd be all right.
Well, if you're a nightcap, you're not going anywhere, are you? So you can have as many as you like. My dad used to sit there with a coffee and a port. Have a sip of his coffee, have a sip of his port. Probably still does.
People have come back to us and said they've drizzled this over ice cream, which is really nice.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed, really, because you did mention that.
You
didn't bring it in.
It just sort of, at the time, it seemed a little bit logistical.
All right, so who's the winner of the port? Luke Gemelli. Do you enjoy making port or wines?
Well, it's the same difference of port and wine. The only difference is you stop the ferment for the port. I enjoy making wine because it's a little bit. There's a few different techniques you can use. Going back on my word now. The port, I enjoy making the port too. It's all good. I enjoy the process of everything. I mean, I'm just so lucky to be able to watch the grapes grow, process the grapes. I even bottle some of these wines as well. So start to finish, it's a great job.
And I heard you might be getting a little bit of help in the vineyard sooner or later.
Yes, Nina is
Nina,
actually. Let Nina.
So I've just started studying a diploma in viticulture.
Thanks, Jason.
Because I have loads of spare time, so I thought, why not?
Yeah, Phil's doing everything else.
I really couldn't sit around and do nothing. So I've done that because really we want to accelerate our knowledge and expertise of what's happening in the vineyard itself, and really, really put a lot of energy and effort in there, because we know that everything comes down to the quality of the grapes and the care that you put into the vineyard. We've started in front. The vineyard, the grapes that we were given were
another one of those.
Exceptional.
Another one. All right.
But
if we must.
Yeah, no, we just thought we'd take the time to really study it. So I'm doing that.
Excellent. And I've got to say to people, Jerry and I had an absolute ball.
No, thank you.
Just coming out there, spending some time with you guys. Just the passion that shone through from both of you for what you're doing is great. It's not just a job; it's a hobby. It's a way of life. You're living out in a little slice of paradise that people don't know about.
Yeah, we're blessed to be
Lots of birds.
Yeah.
Eating your yabbies, not so good, but plenty of birds out there. Beautiful tree that we're going to photograph and show you later as well.
Oh, we're getting the tree on.
Yeah, we're going to get the tree on. It was a standout for me, the tree. And what's going on in the back in the bushlands in the future?
Okay, so at the moment we rent our bushlands out to glamping tents. Somebody with some glamping tents who live across the road in Blewitt Springs. In the future, we will be putting our own accommodation in there. So we're going to nestle pods, tiny houses. We haven't decided yet. Little something that's contained. It will be camping as such, but it'll be an insulated sleeping area. So yeah, we're thinking park pods, something like that. There'll be a shower, there'll be a toilet, so it'll be semi-civilized.
It'll definitely be glamping.
Yeah.
It'll be glamping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not real camping, is it?
No.
Rachel's got a question.
Wow.
A sparkling
Rachel.
Chardonnay.
They're very tricky,
I'll
Rachel.
get back to you on that one.
Was that an in-house joke? Or?
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, Rachel. Paul. There seems to be some extra detail in the B of Blewitt. What is that?
It's an S. So the B, there's a superimposed S in the B, so Blewitt Springs.
Right.
Lawsy.
What do you enjoy most about your beautiful property?
The tranquility.
I was going to say the serenity.
The serenity.
Serenity
Oh, the
now.
serenity.
Yeah.
I would have to say the view, because it never ceases
Yeah,
to
the view is stand out.
impress. Like every day, in whatever the season, whatever the conditions, the view is spectacular.
Yeah.
Even this afternoon?
Well,
It was good to have the rain.
Well,
it was good
Yeah,
to have
true.
the
It's
rain.
good to have the rain.
yeah, that's right.
Plus, on a serious note, being in that community is fantastic.
Yeah, we haven't really touched on that enough.
Yeah,
have we,
no,
about
McLaren
how
Vale.
special.
Yep.
Well, let's say we know McLaren Vale special.
Yep,
We talked about
yep.
that in the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
But Blewitt Springs is something different
Well,
again, isn't it?
we feel it's a little it's the most northern part of McLaren Vale, but we do class ourselves as McLaren Vale
Yeah, of course.
with the wine district. But yeah, we're just so blessed to be there, and people are so friendly, so generous with knowledge. Our friends in the wine industry, discussing processes and wine practices with them, it's just invaluable. And nobody really is in competition.
Yeah, we've said that every week.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, success for one person is success for everybody in McLaren Vale.
All right, so we're going to keep the viewers hanging a little bit longer for the deals, okay? Because we're going to jump onto what's on for next week. We've got a really special guest for next week. We've got Gone AWOL Tours. You heard about Gone AWOL Tours?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Gone AWOL Tours. New business, started up just before the COVID hit. Some e-bikes. Jump on some e-bikes.
Wow.
That track from Seaford to McLaren Vale.
Yeah.
Have a ride along there.
Looks good.
And he's also does a bit of paddleboarding. His brother and himself, great paddleboarders. So they take the guests of paddleboarding and they ride the bikes to the first winery. And of course, we're following protocol. We're putting the bikes away for the rest of the day. And then we're going for some tours around some local wineries.
Right.
And he's going to come on next week. He's going to talk to us about 3 of his favourite wineries that he's been to and discovered why he's been doing these tours. So we're going to get him on. He's going to bring his 3 wines on. He's already organised. He's rung me this afternoon. He's got everything all organised.
Right.
He's got the food organised.
Cool.
He's got I think he's wanting to take over the show. But he has done an excellent job. We want to give a real shout out to him as well.
Okay.
So next week, same time, 8 o'clock, Facebook, we're going to have Gone AWOL Tours.
What about these deals?
Deals. Oh, don't really want to give them away. I've liked the wine too much myself. I might hang on to them. So we'll start with deal number 1. Deal number 1 is the wine deal. So these wine deals that you see each week are only exclusive to this show, okay? So we'll make a link for the website and we'll put it on so people can access it. Or they can ring and say, I watched the wine show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they can get this awesome deal.
As long as they mention the show.
Yeah.
Whatever's easy.
So they can get the 3 wines we've had tonight. Well, 2 wines and a port, I should say.
Yep.
And they also
You're not
get
allowed to say port, actually. You've got to say fortified.
Okay,
Shiraz.
so it's a bit similar to champagne.
Yeah.
So as a bonus, I love this idea of a bonus. They get a bottle of 2015 McLaren Vale.
So that was our first. That was
I'll
our
work out
first
the label.
label.
This was your first label?
Before we went on to Blewitt Springs.
So 2015?
Yep.
Been in the bottle for a while?
Yep. It's a lovely Shiraz. It's a typical McLaren Vale Shiraz. Nice full-bodied Shiraz. It's well worth having.
And it's free. If
It's
you
free.
if you get the deal.
Worth $28.
Worth $28. That makes the deal pretty decent, doesn't it?
I hope so.
So, you thought you'd trump everybody else and bring 2 deals on. Good work, good work. Tell us about the bed and breakfast deal.
So we thought that just to entice people to know a little bit more about us and come into our beautiful region, we would offer $50 off the stay
Yeah.
for 2 people in the bed and breakfast. So a one-night stay, $50 off.
And they get a bottle of wine.
And of course, there's always a complimentary bottle of wine. There's always lots of little treats, such as there's something like that. I make sure that everyone has a good experience.
Yeah.
So,
And a beef stew in the...
let's
not usually.
Let's not stretch our friendship, but you know.
I only Luke because he was the one who mentioned
Certainly,
it.
there's a fully working kitchen. It's fully equipped. If they want to make their own beef stew, they can go for it.
Excellent. So there you got it. Phil and Nina, you have been excellent guests.
Thank you. Been a pleasure.
I really loved coming out to the winery too. And it just had and it's going to sound wanky, but it had a really good vibe out there. Beautiful spot. Not enough people know about it. So get out to Blewitt Springs Wine Co. Give them a call. Hit them up on their Facebook page, Instagram, message them. Give them a call. Get out there and see them. Not just yet. Get some takeaways right at the moment. Stay in the bed and breakfast. Cellar door will be open soon. And remember, it's not your usual cellar door experience. It's a behind-the-scenes experience for one of the best up-and-coming winemakers in McLaren Vale. No,
Bit of a stretch.
that's coming from your peers, the 3 people I asked. So, next week, 8 o'clock, same Facebook Live on the Achieve Video Marketing site, SA Wine Weekly. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for coming on, guys.
Thanks, Nathan.
Cheers.
Thank you.